Welcome to EPG Pathshala in the subject of information technology and in the paper of open source software. Friends, in this module we will learn what is LAMP. LAMP is a infrastructure above which web applications can work. So, for this module our learning objectives are: we will get acquainted to the LAMP stack, we will learn what is Apache, what are the web server configurations or facilities that are available. Then we will study the facilities provided by databases, and finally we will get an overview of languages that can be used for scripting purpose. So, languages like Python, Perl, these languages we will try to get an overview and how they work together to get a LAMP stack. So, friends, let us begin the discussion of this module. As the screen says, LAMP is an open source web development platform. Now, when we say LAMP, the abbreviations LAMP, they stand for Linux, Apache, MySQL and PHP. Generally LAMP is Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, but in certain cases M, that is MySQL, may be replaced by MongoDB or MariaDB, and similarly PHP can be replaced by Python or Perl. So, LAMP is an open source web development platform. Usually LAMP is a stack above which applications run. As you can see, the Linux is operating system which is at the bottom of the stack, above which there is Apache. So, Apache will be the web server. Along with Apache, there are databases like MySQL, MariaDB or MongoDB. Either of these databases, they work with Apache, and above this MySQL there are programming languages like PHP, Python or Perl. So, this is the LAMP stack, and above the LAMP stack web applications work. Now, when we say web applications, they are applications which require either PHP scripting or they may require databases above which these applications can run. Let us dig more into the details of this. Now, when we say web applications, there are applications like content management system, there are applications like learning management system, that is LMS, there are e-commerce applications, there are blogging applications. So, all these applications, they fall under the category of web applications. Now, when we say web application, means there will be a server and the clients will access web applications using the client server model. So, there are numerous web applications available, and from the department a person can access these applications. Now, for these applications to run, they require LAMP stack. So, there has to be some operating system. We consider Linux as an operating system since it is open source. Above this operating system, there has to be a web server. So, we have to install web server above Linux. Usually it is Apache web server. Under certain circumstances, rather than Apache, people also prefer Nginx. Now, these web servers, they execute PHP or Python scripting. So, there are scripting languages, and along with these scripting languages, if database is required, then there are MySQL, MariaDB or MongoDB databases. Now, as you can see on the screen, operating system can be either Linux or Windows or Macintosh. So, earlier it was LAMP, but in modern days it can be either LAMP, XAMPP, WAMP or MAMP. When we say WAMP, W-A-M-P, then W stands for Windows, and similarly when we say MAMP, M-A-M-P, then M stands for Macintosh. Z is just another software which also runs on Windows. So, as I said, web applications, they require LAMP, the LAMP stack. Few examples of web applications can be learning management system. A very good example is Moodle. Moodle is a learning management system which requires LAMP to be installed. There are help desk management systems, ticketing systems through which people can put their grievance and it can be solved. Websites or customized websites can be created using Joomla, Drupal, such kind of software. So, all these web applications, these software, they require LAMP above which these softwares will execute. As you can see in the diagram, now there is MySQL database, there is Linux, there are scripting languages, PHP and so on, there is a web server. So, this makes our LAMP stack. It will not be a single software, there are pieces of software attached together, and the client uses browser. As I said, this is a web application, client will use browser, client will put request in the form of query, and the client will get responses. So, the LAMP architecture is what we see on this side. It is an entire stack of software, and the browser will query and receive responses with the LAMP stack. Linux is the core over here, it is the operating system above which all these applications will run together. Now, friends, we have already discussed Linux. A series of modules have already been discussed. What is Linux, why it is helpful. Let us switch over to the discussion of Apache. Apache is a web server which is open source. It is provided under Apache license. These web servers, they help to cater the websites. The Apache web server is open source software. There are few other web servers as well. Nginx is a evolving web server, but since Apache is being used since decades, it has evolved itself. There are so many facilities or features of Apache which may not be provided by few other servers. When we talk about LAMP or WAMP, Apache is always there. Without Apache, it cannot be served. So, friends, as you can see on the screen, Apache is a HTTP server. It is a hypertext transfer protocol server, what we call web server. According to a survey, nearly 54% of websites run over Apache. Apache is released under the Apache license. Since the software Apache is available from years together, it is very robust and it is open source. Apache is still being maintained, and regular patches or regular updates are provided by the Apache Foundation. Apache supports multiple users, it supports multitasking. Variety of features can be added or combined with Apache with the help of modules. So, if we want to add more functionality to the Apache server, we can add modules, we can configure modules. And as you know, PHP is a programming language, they are used for server side scripting. This PHP can easily work with Apache web server. So, PHP can be a backend programming language and Apache can be the web server on which it will run. There are few other languages like Perl, Python, TCL, which also works with Apache web server. Minor configuration of all these languages can easily integrate the languages with the web server. Now, let us see what other features are provided by Apache. There is a mode SSL feature. This is the module SSL, which provides security to the software, to our web applications. SSL is secure socket layer, and there is TLS, transport layer security. So, these supports are given by Apache. We can build a secure website using mode SSL. So, when we build a secure website, rather than using HTTP, we will be using HTTPS protocol. There are few other modules like mode access, mode auth, mode digest, mode auth digest. When we say auth, it is authorization and authentication. So, these modules, they help in building certified web services. There are proxy modules, there are URL rewriters, there are log config modules, filtering modules are also there. So, Apache has lot of provision with the help of these modules. These modules can be plugged in with the web server and we can harness the particular facility. We can configure the log files, we can configure filters using all these modules. Now, there is a facility of compressed pages in HTTP protocol. So, there is a mode gzip module which helps in compression and sending of the pages in compressed form. This will help in reduction of the size of web pages, so our bandwidth will be utilized accordingly. There are mod security module which can help in intrusion detection and prevention for web applications. We can get statistics through the AW stats or W3 Perl modules. So, the logs that are being generated can be analyzed and proper statistics can be generated using these modules. There is another key aspect of virtual hosting. Now, let us understand what is virtual hosting. Suppose we have a single server, there is a common server and we want to host multiple websites. So, Apache has facility of providing virtual hosting. So, for instance, suppose I want to create 3 websites, example1, example2 and example3.com. Then I need not purchase 3 different servers. A single server can support multiple websites. What we have to do is we create different directories through which the virtual hosting can be done. Now, this is very important module, MPM module, that is multiprocessing module. When there is lot of load on Apache, then MPM modules can be configured. It can be used for load balancing. We can do process based or process and thread based load balancing using the MPM module. So, a single server can create multiple processes or multiple threads with the help of MPM modules. Let us see how we install Apache. There are various ways of installing Apache. One of them is using yum command. Yum can be configured with the repository. So, when we issue yum command, Apache code will be downloaded from the repository. We need internet when we issue yum command. Yum will resolve all dependencies. So, I would personally recommend, if you want to install Apache, use yum command, or else there are Red Hat package manager files, RPM files. These they will work with the Red Hat based distributions. We can directly download the RPM packages and we can install them. A little bit tricky way is to install by source code. So, suppose if we download the source code of Apache, we have to recompile, we have to build the source code, and that is how Apache can be installed using source code. Apache can be installed while we install Linux. So, at the time of installing of Linux, we can configure Apache such that it gets installed. So, this is another way of installing Apache on the Linux system. And finally, if we are not using Linux and if we are using Windows, there is WAMP bundle. We can download WAMP, the package is nearly 500 MB. We can download WAMP and it can be installed on the Windows system. So, WAMP is a common executable file. A simple installation of WAMP on Windows will install Apache, MySQL, PHP, and it will be configured accordingly. In the lecture notes, I have shown the screenshot of WAMP, how WAMP looks when it is installed and how we can access WAMP once it is installed on Windows. Now, WAMP and XAMPP, these are different software. WAMP is very good evolving software. So, I would personally recommend installing WAMP. When we install WAMP on Windows, a small icon will come under the tray, system tray. You can either stop or start the services of Apache. We can configure port numbers, we can configure PHP using this WAMP icon. Apart from this, if the WAMP is running, you can open the local host from the web browser. So, when we type HTTP localhost, you will get an interface of WAMP. We can administer the databases, we can create database. The database naturally it will be MySQL database. You can configure PHP using this WAMP code. So, the only thing, just it is a matter of a single click, you download WAMP, you install it, and after the installation is complete, you just open HTTP localhost in the browser and you will see the screen of WAMP. No doubt, when we install web applications, it may require some sort of connection between web application and WAMP. So, those parts will be bit tricky or bit technical, but installation of WAMP is very easy. And as I said, if you are installing Linux, At the time of Linux, if we select the software from the repository that I want Apache, I want MySQL, I want to install databases, PHP, then all these bundle of software, that is LAMP stack, will be installed while we install Linux itself. So, this is about the Apache server. Let us move ahead. There is another server, Nginx web server. This is a very lightweight server and has better performance compared to Apache. Since it is a lightweight server, it requires less memory and it can handle more number of concurrent users. According to a survey, nearly 14% of the websites, they are powered by the Nginx web server. So, this is another alternative to Apache web server. Now, coming to databases. As I said, LAMP means Linux, Apache and MySQL. Earlier it was MySQL, but nowadays we also talk in terms of MariaDB or MongoDB. So, earlier when we say LAMP, it was considered as MySQL. MySQL is a relational database management system. MySQL can also be replaced by MariaDB, and if we want NoSQL databases, it can be replaced by MongoDB. There is one more database, PostgreSQL. So, rather than using MySQL, we can also use PostgreSQL. Now, certain SQL databases, they support SQL language, structured query language, whereas certain databases like MongoDB, they support NoSQL databases. So, when we use MongoDB, there is no need to write query, we can simply use NoSQL format to access the databases. Let us go into the detail of MySQL. MySQL is a multi-threaded, multi-user database. Proprietary databases like Oracle, MS SQL Server can be replaced by MySQL. It is a DBMS or it is an RDBMS system. The development was started very early in 1995. Now, the history is that MySQL was later acquired by Sun Microsystems, which was further acquired by Oracle. As of now, MySQL is the product of Oracle Corporation. However, the code is available as GNU GPL license. So, as of now, MySQL is a software which comes under the proprietary agreement. Now, MySQL has different editions. One is community server, which is open source. We can download MySQL freely and we can use it. The other proprietary variant of MySQL is enterprise server, which we have to purchase from the vendor. So, if we want to purchase MySQL, we have to approach Oracle and we can get this proprietary enterprise edition. However, for students, they can use the community edition to learn MySQL or to learn this LAMP stack. MySQL has various extensions and we can also install various plugins to configure MySQL. Now, let us see the features of MySQL. As I said, it is a relational database. The database, when we say relational, the data is stored in form of tables. We maintain relations between tables. MySQL supports SQL 1999. So, this is the standard 99, which is supported by MySQL ANSI standard. MySQL has support of stored procedures, triggers, cursors. It also supports updatable views. We can create different online data definition languages. There is a storage engine InnoDB or InnoDB, which can work with MySQL. We can design our schemas, information schema and performance schema, and recently MySQL has also given support to SSL. So, if you want to fire queries in a secure way, then there are SSL support through which our queries can be encrypted to the MySQL database. Let us see some other features. MySQL does query caching. It has feature of nested selects. There is a replication support, which is built-in replication support. So, there can be a master-master replication configuration or a master-slave configuration. We can also configure master per slave, or we can consider many slaves per master. MySQL does indexing it also provides searching. So, if we are in the domain of retrieval, information retrieval, MySQL has facilities of indexing and searching. It has its embedded database library. MySQL supports Unicode. So, the data can be in languages that are supported by Unicode. No doubt we can store data in Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, etc. as the MySQL supports Unicode characters. Now, there are support of partition tables, pruning of partitions, optimization is also supported. MySQL provides various engines. The user has choice of selecting particular engine to fire query and get answers. There are other features like transaction management. Multiple transactions with the commit protocol is supported by MySQL, and it also has performance improvement when there are concurrent transactions together. A very important feature of MySQL is backup. There is a utility MySQL dump which helps in taking logical backup. There are various forms of backup which are available with MySQL, and with this command we can select particular form of backup and we can backup the entire data. Nowadays, the size of data is increasing. So, high availability is a buzzword. MySQL has MySQL Fabric which provides high availability of the database. So, when there is high availability, the processing of query will not take much time and immediately the replies will come. MySQL is a command line utility, but it also has graphical user interface. So, there are interfaces like MySQL Workbench, Adminer, Database Workbench, DBEdit and so on, which provides the GUI interface. As I said earlier, phpMyAdmin comes with WAMP server. So, if we install WAMP, phpMyAdmin is the utility through which we can administer MySQL databases. We can create users, we can modify or change their access rights, and everything can be done using the phpMyAdmin utility. There are few other utilities which can be installed to handle MySQL databases. Now, after completing this database portion, a very important thing is we have to write programs. Using scripts, we can access database. Without scripts, an end user or a client cannot access database directly. So, web applications, they generally integrate with programming languages. For example, WordPress is a widely used web application. WordPress is a content management system. We can download WordPress and we can configure with our system. So, such kind of applications, they can be configured with PHP and MySQL. There are many more applications like Drupal, Joomla. So, the only thing is we have to download that application and we configure with our LAMP stack. These applications, they have PHP programs or maybe Python programs. So, an application is a bundle of software. We download it. The application might be written in Python, Perl or PHP. A certain number of configurations will help us to use the application product. So, in the LAMP stack, the last above layer is of programming languages. PHP, Python, Perl, these are different programming languages. Let us quickly go through the features provided by each of these languages. As you can see on the screen, PHP, earlier it was known as personal home page, which now it is known as hypertext preprocessor. PHP is a scripting language. The scripting is done on server side and it is used for development of web applications. So, when we do server side scripting, the PHP programs interact with database. Web applications like WordPress, Joomla, etc., they are built or can be deployed using PHP. Applications like help desk system, project monitoring, tracking system, bug tracking system, CMS, document management system, all such kind of applications or customized websites, they all run using PHP. PHP is again an open source software. So, we can easily procure PHP You can also download them, and it can be configured with Apache Web Server. According to a survey, PHP was powering nearly 240 million websites, and as of now this number has increased tremendously. PHP software is released under the PHP license. So, if you want to modify PHP or you want to redistribute PHP software, you have to go through this PHP license. Perl is another language. It is a family of high level language. It is general purpose interpreted language. So, there is no need of compiling. Even PHP is a scripting language which does not require compiling. Perl also does not require compiling, and it is quite good in dealing with regular expressions. So, when we want to do pattern matching, Perl is a very good language for pattern matching. The full form of Perl is Practical Extraction and Reporting Language. Perl was developed somewhere in 1987. It is still being used at various levels. Perl is released under two licenses. One is GNU GPL license and the other is Artistic license. So, this is a language that is being released under two different licenses. Let us move ahead. The other language is Python, which is widely used by scientific community. Python is licensed under the Python Software Foundation. Python is widely used for scientific and visual graphic applications. So, friends, in this module we got an overview of LAMP stack. As I said, LAMP stack is a bundle of software. Now, if I want to instantly create a website, within couple of hours I want to create a website, then LAMP stack will be at my rescue. LAMP stack will be a single installation on which we can run multiple applications. For example, on a single server we can run content management system, we can run Moodle, that is learning management system, we can run document management system. Different web applications can be executed on a common LAMP stack. So, there will be a single LAMP stack above which there will be Apache Web Server. When we say LAMP, this is Linux. Linux uses Apache. Apache can be configured with MySQL and PHP, or there are few other databases like MySQL, MariaDB or MongoDB, and there are languages like PHP, Perl or Python. So, this entire bundle of software will provide LAMP stack. So, friends, in this module we got an overview of LAMP stack. Let us quickly summarize what we have studied. Throughout the module we have studied the features of Apache. We have seen why it is useful. We have also seen that there is another web server Nginx which is similar to Apache. Apart from Apache, there are databases like MySQL. Instead of MySQL, there are variants which can be used like PostgreSQL, MariaDB or MongoDB. And finally, scripting can be done using either Perl, Python or PHP. So, this is how entire LAMP stack is created. The future modules will study content management system, will study learning management system. All these systems, they will rest on LAMP stack. So, once you are familiar with LAMP stack, you can easily install all different kind of systems over LAMP stack. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. Looking forward to meeting you in the next module. Thank you.